Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Max and Trev with BuzzTox here, and we're back with our episode 5 reaction video. This episode was insane. What's going on, Trev?
Oh, not too much. It was a real hot one.
Holy shit. This episode, it did so much. Like, it was all over the place, and like, I loved it. Every single scene was unbelievable.
Yeah, we're talking on coming over here. It's like a part 1 of an epic, like, trilogy episodes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a lot like episode 3. Episode 3 was the part 1 to episode 4. This is like the part 1 to episode 6.
Yeah.
And like, I'm so excited for what we're going to see next. And they moved a lot of pieces going forward.
Big time.
And like, whoo! And I think they did it in a really good way. But what was like the highlight for you in this episode?
Man, there's like so many. You have, what's it called? You had Gendry coming back. Reunion. There's like, how many reunions are in this fucking episode?
Oh, shit ton.
You have Gendry. You have Jaime and Tyrion. You have fucking Jorah came back.
Yeah.
Like, there's so this episode was off the chain.
There are short-lived reunions.
Yeah.
And it was really good. And like,
it was
a lot
like
of the
triple speed reunions.
Oh, it was an unbelievable episode. But let's start from the beginning. And I think it started off the way we expected. Bran ends up saving Jaime. Jaime's like full-blown Ironborn because he coughs
Let
up
the conspiracy start.
coughs up the water, and then luckily for him, they end up escaping to King's Landing. But yeah, we get Daenerys burning Randall and Dick and Tarly.
Yep. What a real dick that guy was.
What an idiot that guy was.
Yeah, he's pretty big.
I want to die with my father. And then I really appreciated the scene because Tyrion kind of got really up in arms over it. And
yeah.
I think it really, like, I don't think what Daenerys did was wrong by any means, but there was another way to do it. But I think they're pushing, not that she's the Mad Queen, but the fact that they can't rein her in the way that they would want to.
It was bad PR.
Yeah.
But she's got to do what she's got to do. She gave him many chances.
Yeah, and she told him, like, she doesn't like Tyrion questioning her authority around everyone else. And to me, it made perfect sense because she said, hey, you either live and you bend the knee or you die. And she can't go back on that. And she can't tell Randall and Dick and Tarly what to do. They refuse to bend the knee. Therefore, she has to be true to her oath.
Yeah.
So people take her seriously, and that's what she had to do. And I like how Tyrion assumed that she would do beheading. Because in this world, that's like the honorable thing to do.
Yeah.
And she ended up burning them alive. So I think that's also bad PR.
Yeah, exactly.
It's painting her as the Mad King's daughter.
Yeah, it's painting her as the exact stereotypical queen she's supposed to be. She literally burned a house out of existence.
Yeah, and they're
can't.
completely gone.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good foreshadow because when Sam left, we'll get back to Sam, but he said that, you know, he doesn't want to read about better men anymore. And then he left the Citadel. And I find that interesting because that's what Randall Tarly said to Sam in the same episode where Randall Tarly dies. So it's like, hey, Sam is the only Tarly left.
Yeah.
So I think that's an interesting potential going forward.
Well, I guess because this could spell the end of the Night's Watch if this whole shit goes south, which it's setting up to do.
Yeah, for sure. And with the burning of Dickon and Randall Tarly, we get a scene between Varys and Tyrion.
Yeah.
Which I think, like, do you think that this is going to go anywhere with Daenerys kind of getting out of control? Because Varys seems like he wants to make her listen. He wants to control her, and he thinks what she did was reckless.
This is just totally off the top of my head. I don't think we've ever seen Varys drink before.
He's stressed out, man.
Yeah, he's stressed out. He's shook from fucking what she said about him dying.
He even made like a look about the taste. Like, this is new for Varys, and I think he's very stressed.
Yeah. Like, he's got a lot of plates spinning and a lot of chips on Daenerys. So for her to do that, as well as his news that he got from Melisandre, he's fucking shook. But no, I think what he says is right. But at the same time, it's like, who are they to say? Because they want to be the guys behind the curtain when really she's supposed to be ruling. That's why it's sort of tough. But again, it is bad PR, pulling in your dragons, roasting people alive.
Yeah, and then we get scenes like that with Tyrion walking through like the burning of Highgarden, and everyone's like ash. And it's just like, it's intense. And it looks like volcano. You know when a volcano goes off and it covers everyone in ash?
Like Pompeii.
Everyone's totally decimated. But it makes me think, like, with Varys, I think, I've been saying this forever, Varys may back someone else. Like, he may want to back Jon if he finds out that he has the right name. And he's a little bit more controllable than Daenerys.
Yes.
And he doesn't want to rule. So I think that would be a cool political story arc going forward.
Fucking Daenerys in this episode looks like she's gonna support Jon. She's like in total love with him.
I know, but I don't think it was cheesy. I think a lot of people are going to come forward and say, like, this shit is cheesy. This
No.
is fanfic.
You know
I
how
think
it's
it was played.
not?
Jon is a good-looking mother F, and so is she.
All right.
And hey, I love Jon. Do you see him on that
Apparently.
mountaintop when she flew by on Drogon? Jon just looked fantastic.
No, what it is that he doesn't care at all.
Oh yeah.
It seems like he doesn't care. Like he's like, yeah, she's good looking, but I got to do this.
And
so
that just makes her want him
exactly,
more. And
it's
he's
worse.
like, listen, babe, I'm gonna pet the fuck out of your dragon. I'm gonna make him like me, and then just out of spite, I'm gonna leave.
Yeah.
Because I don't have to follow you,
She's
and this is what I have to do to save the world, sweetheart. And she's just swooning.
Yeah.
And speaking of that scene, Jon and Daenerys. Daenerys flies in on Drogon. She arrives. She's a little cranky, and Drogon approaches Jon, all growly and shit.
Yeah.
Do you like the way they handled this scene? It was a really good introduction, I
Because
think,
he
to
kind of
Jon's
looked kind of
past.
intimidated, which obviously he should be, but he didn't shit his drawers. It's good to see what happened because there's obviously that whole story arc, which they mentioned later on in the episode as well.
Yeah. It's funny that they did it with Drogon, because there's 2 other dragons that they haven't even addressed in this season at all. So I hope we get a look at these dragons
Yeah.
later in the episode.
I feel like one of those dragons has to die at some point
It makes sense. This season makes the most sense.
because I don't even know what those dragons look like.
One's green, one's yellow.
I know, but like, could you tell them apart if they landed right now? It's
Yeah,
been so long
they're
since we've
different
seen
colors.
them. This one's like a fucking dinosaur.
Yeah.
Like when it landed before it burned the Tarlys, it's huge.
It's like it was sitting on that forest as if it was a nest.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like, it's funny how how they use Drogon, and Daenerys. That's her dragon. Drogon is her dragon. Drogon submissive to Jon.
Yeah.
You see its eyes kind of
Like a cat
change.
rubbing up against a leg.
Exactly. It was purring. It loved Jon, and Daenerys was like, "Holy shit!" And I think that was a real step forward. And I think she played it off. She gets down with Jon and says like, "Oh, these are like my babies."
Yeah.
And like, I think that was really well done, and I think it was a good introduction to Jon in the future riding another dragon.
Could be. I thought he was getting a dragon ride back home, to be honest with you.
I just hope this is a good introduction. I hope going forward, I hope they shock us with a reveal that Jon can ride, or Jon has a true connection with these dragons. Like Tyrion petted a dragon in season 6.
This seems a little bit more, though.
It was a little bit more because he tamed him out of the control of Daenerys. Like, Daenerys was going there to be the aggressor, and he calmed Drogon down, which wasn't really in Daenerys' best interest.
Yeah, and she didn't even know what the fuck was going on because she couldn't see what's going on.
Yeah. So I think I would love if they do the reveal where in the next episode things are gonna go to shit. Imagine if Jon summoned Rhaegal,
Could be because
like Daenerys summoned Drogon in season 5.
So we don't know how, like, this is so, like, getting into it, but we don't know how the dragons work. Is it through mind, or is it just obedience like a dog, or is there something to it? Like, it seems like, to me, it seemed like he smelled Jon. Like, he could tell, oh, this is family, because they share the same blood, right? So right there, it seems like it could be just blood, or it could be the whole dragon thing, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like they actually have blood of a dragon and they seem to have this connection with them in that sense. So I don't know. I was totally against any dragon riding, but it really does seem like it's gonna happen.
You were against Tyrion dragon riding, and I think that I agree that would be kind of cheesy, and I don't think they're gonna go that route, which is good.
Could be, yeah.
But as they're having this discussion, Jorah finally arrives. I liked it. Great scene.
Yeah.
He said he was cured.
Succinct and to the point. It was perfect.
Yeah, and I thought, it was nice. I was like, you gotta hug the guy. Like, he's been through a lot of shit. And
Yeah.
she did, thank God. And he's back supporting Daenerys. Now he's off to go kill himself again.
Yep.
In the north. So that'll be fun. And it seemed like Daenerys was really staring down Jon while he was leaving instead of Jorah.
Oh my God, big time.
Wow. And but before they take the ship away, there was the council. So Jon actually finally realizes that Arya and Bran are actually in Winterfell.
Yep.
And that Arya is alive. He had no idea. I think I've just said actually like 4 times. But he tells them of all this. I don't know, to you, did this council make sense? It seemed like, to me, I need to watch it again, but it was almost like they jumped the gun. Like Daenerys, I guess she's still consumed with fighting her war with Cersei.
Yeah,
But it seemed very like, okay, yeah, we need to capture a wight. Perfect. Like, do you think that's a smart idea? Do you think that makes sense?
Yeah, it has to. Like, how else are you going to prove it? They're still in the disbelief team. Yes, there's people saying that this is happening, but there's nothing to go off of. It's like, okay, what does that mean, an army of dead? Like, an army of dead doesn't seem that big of a deal because we don't know how to solidify it in my mind. So bring some evidence back, and now it's like a PR campaign against them because they want to show that Cersei's going to fucking blow it off, and they're going to show up with a dead guy saying, we got the real info.
Yeah.
Your queen's bullshit.
Yeah.
And we know how to defeat them.
Yeah, and they got quite the team together because it's bizarre because Daenerys she allowed Tyrion to go into King's Landing with the purpose of talking to Jaime, so he in turn can try and get Cersei to go for a meeting to discuss this White Walker threat.
Yes.
So right now it's almost like Daenerys put her battle or her fight on hold.
Yeah.
It seemed like, but she's not willing to support Jon. She just let him go. So that's still Jon's concern. So I don't know. I just wonder what Daenerys is going to be doing next episode. Like, we got to see dragons.
I don't think it's going to be that much of that side.
I don't think so either. But like, we've got to see dragons.
We see it in the trailer, but I think it's just like it's probably only going to be a few minutes.
I just think we have to see dragons next episode. Like, there's no way Jon is going to get out of there without a dragon. In the trailer, we see fire. Like, there has to be dragons. I just don't know what would make her go north. My only guess would be that Rhaegal, Jon's dragon, quote unquote, would leave Dragonstone. She'd be like, what the fuck? And she'd follow him. Because I can't think of another reason what would get Daenerys out of Dragonstone to go north.
Like, where's Grey Worm in all this?
I have no idea.
Because it could be that they need to bail them out. Or did they retreat now because of what she did?
They're coming back from Casterly Rock, so I don't know what they're doing.
That's what's confusing about me. It's almost like they forgot about their original plan that went to shit because there's still people that are stranded.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It just seems unresolved. But maybe that will be the quick scene. I really feel like it's going to be heavy focus north of the Wall in the next episode.
And they should be back by now because of all the travel times. Like, Tyrion went to King's Landing and back, which I guess is just through Blackwater Bay. But there were a lot more traveling throughout the episode as well. Like, so we did get the secret meeting after this council. And I loved seeing Tyrion and Jaime back together.
Oh, big time.
Tyrion got emotional. It was a good scene.
It was a really good scene.
And yeah, it just kind of made sense. Bronn brought them together.
Yeah, which makes perfect sense.
Yeah. What did they really establish? That Jaime would talk to Cersei?
Yeah, well, he brought up all that other shit, right?
Yeah.
But then she said that she let it happen. So her spies knew that Bronn was doing this meeting and didn't do anything about it, which is weird.
Because she feels like she needs the diplomatic approach because she's backed up into a corner because she has no armies to fight.
No.
It's almost like she's delaying.
It's almost like it's like a power move because she says she wants to fight like her dad. So,
like the Red Wedding kind of shit.
Yeah. Bring them to our things. Let them think that we're being diplomatic and then a strike.
Yeah. No, that definitely makes a lot of sense. And then after that goes through, they end up getting Gendry, which is great to see him again.
Amazing.
And I loved him in this episode. Like, he was great in this episode.
Yeah.
The Warhammer. He's kind of funny guy. He's a funny guy.
Yeah.
It was good seeing him interact with everybody. And then they finally get him back to Dragonstone. I love seeing him and Jon talk because they're both bastards of, fathers that were best friends.
Yeah.
So I love that interaction, and then we see them leave Dragonstone, which I think was awesome, and then I didn't expect they actually get to Eastwatch.
Yeah. And then the best bringing together of characters ever.
It was badass. Like, every cool, badass character was in that shot. Tormund, Jorah, Gendry, Jon, the Hound, Thoros, Beric Dondarrion.
Yeah, it's like every Grey character. So good, exception of Jon. But like, unbelievable cast in the next episode.
Oh my god! And it was
like everybody hates one another.
They established it.
Amazing.
They established it really well. Like, Gendry has a bone to pick with the Brotherhood. So does Davos because they're Red God supporters.
The Mountain hates everybody, anyways. Like, it's just so good.
Yeah, I thought it was genius. And Tormund hated Jorah.
Yeah.
Because of his father. It was just really well done. Everyone comes together. fantastic. And I think that's like the amazing setup for next season. But let's backpedal to King's Landing. Cersei's pregnant.
So she says.
I think she is.
I honestly think she
is.
Be, but she's definitely going to be using it hardcore against Jaime. Brought him to his knees.
That's exactly what it is. It's a loyalty pledge.
Yeah.
It's like, look what you did. We have to have a child now. You need to step up and you can't betray me again. And she made sure to remind him that. Do not betray me again.
Yeah.
And I think that's key going forward is now Jaime can't just so easily pack up his shit and leave. Like, he's fighting for more than Cersei now, which is kind of chipping away at him. He's fighting for his child.
But what makes me think that she's lying is that in the 11th hour, say that she was fucking lying, and then that will put him over the edge. It's like the last string he could be pulled before he's cut loose from his puppet strings.
That's true. But as of right now, Jaime's so far gone that he can't. He has to be there for his kid.
It's now like, because that's the mind.
And it's like the potential for to start again with the Lannister house. So yes. I think that's really
no,
important.
definitely, and that was a power move on Cersei's side. No matter what, whether she is or not, that's the way to get Jaime in line.
Yeah, but down to Winterfell. This was one of my favorite parts of the show. I loved Winterfell in this episode.
Oh, really?
And I thought it was genius, and they handled Sansa perfect. Like, I think they handled Sansa as a character perfectly. And the argument between Arya and Sansa I thought was perfect. Like, the lords are talking to Sansa about how they should have backed her instead of Jon. And I think it was perfect for Sansa because in the back of her mind, she does want to be Lord of Winterfell.
And she feels legitimately like she is.
And she's playing the game as if Jon will not come back.
Yeah.
And I think, that it was awesome seeing Arya kind of combat her in that way. And you see, like, people started, you hop on the Sansa bandwagon this episode or this season because she's kicking ass, but then you see that she still is playing a deeper game.
Yeah.
Like, she wants to rule Winterfell and the North. And I think Littlefinger is in that camp also, and we see him wheeling and dealing.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, so he's doing a lot more than I thought he would. We see him talking to some of the lords. We see him talking to Lord Glover. All these people. I don't know what he's chatting to them about.
Yeah.
And debatable, he did like a double play. He gets a package from the Maester from a raven.
Mm-hmm. He whispers some handmaiden.
And it was assured to him that was the only one.
But that seems like...
Because
Littlefinger is
it's
so
almost
good,
like,
though.
Yeah, but it's like he wanted to hide that from Sansa, remember? Because Sansa said that they have a collection that Maester Luwin was saving, and that's vital information that Littlefinger doesn't want to know. So he would get the Maester Wolken to take it, and he would hide it so then she would never have access to it.
But someone mentioned that it looked like he was smiling when he was looking down the hall outside the thing. So it could all have been a trick. He could have put that into place in order for her to go in to get false information.
Yeah,
I didn't read the words. Yeah. So obviously, someone's going to say in the comments what the words they actually said. What I was reading is something that said, "Steal the throne from Joffrey." That's all I could get from it.
Really?
Something said, "Steal the throne from Joffrey."
I tried to read it. I read "kill" and Sansa. But like, what I find crazy about this is we don't know what Littlefinger's up to. He was talking to so many different people, getting whispers and like conspiring against something. And Arya's been investigating, but the tables have turned, and it seems like Littlefinger wanted her to find that information.
Exactly. That's why I think he made it look like he did all those things in order for Arya to go sniffing, which she did exactly what he wanted to do in order to cause a bigger wedge between those two. He knows from his secret getters that there is tension, and he wants to divide and conquer all the Starks at this point. He already got rid of Jon. Now he's working on Sansa, and now he's like, I can't fucking deal with this Arya now, who's like a ninja and can cut my head off.
And that's good too.
And Bran is a weirdo, and he mentioned that weird shit that like he might know something about it too.
Yeah, and when you see like you see Littlefinger staring at Bran, Arya, and Sansa going into the courtyard of Winterfell, like he's pissed because they have each other and they're not relying on him.
Exactly.
And that's what he wants. He wants to put the wedge between them so they're relying on him. So I thought it was awesome. I just initially go to Littlefinger conspiring to kill Jon Snow or have him die up north or something like that. I don't know. Because it seems like, I love how Arya mentioned that Sansa's kind of betting on Jon dying.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, I don't know. I just think Littlefinger would want Sansa in power. So I think that's very interesting.
Well, yeah, because he thinks he has hold of her, which it seems strange because he doesn't seem to get his way with her, or at least how we see it. Seems like that's his one weakness is her. But I don't know. I really think this was all a clever plot, and it was. He could have brought the Maester into the room to say, "Is this the phony copy?" Right? But he didn't. He said it out loud so the person that he knew was watching could hear exactly that was important. So it really seems intentional to me.
Yeah, so we'll see how that goes going forward, or like if it kind of spreads apart Sansa and Arya.
Yeah.
But I like seeing the conflict between them because Arya's so loyal to Jon and Sansa's playing another game. Like she and in the bottom of her heart wants to rule.
It's just like, where does, if it does drive a wedge, where does Arya go from here?
I don't know.
Right?
Yeah.
Does she go back on her quest to kill everybody? That will be interesting, but
I don't know.
We got 2 episodes to go, and we know next episode's going to be very, very north of the wall focused. I really don't see what could happen with that. That's what's going crazy to see these next 2 episodes.
I think a lot of shit's going to happen. We're going to get maybe a tidbit next episode, but a lot's going to happen in episode 7, I think.
Yeah.
Like Bran's been going north of the wall, spying on the Night King. By the way, I want to touch on, I love when he was flying the crows. The Night King literally looked at them and like kind of threw Bran out of his warg.
So, you know, like in like classic like teen fiction when like they're following their crush and then their crush looks at them and then they like pretend to be casual.
Yeah.
That's what it seemed like to me.
They're like, oh no.
Bran's like, oh, he caught me. And he like, oh, and tried to make it look like a casual flock
Just a
of
casual
fucking
flock.
ravens are flying over.
That's funny. The way, so I keep talking about the Night King and the way the Night King was able to touch Bran, in my opinion, is what we talked about earlier, that I feel like the Night King is always connected to the weirwood tree because he is standing on ice, which he envelops
connected to the roots.
Through the roots of the weirwood tree.
He can talk through the
ice. So, in my opinion, whenever the Night King is traveling, he is always connected to the weirwood, which means that he can see.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah, which means that he can see what's happening in present as well as what's happening in like the spiritual world of Bran.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he was able to see walking Bran, because he's connected to that aspect of the universe also.
Yeah.
That's why he was able to touch him. So here, I think he was almost able to pinpoint like there's Bran Stark is in those ravens. And he was able to get him out because of his warging ability and his connection to the weirwood.
Like he can cancel the connection.
Yeah, because my argument is that the Night King can warg too, but he wargs into the dead.
Yeah. Well, everyone has the same magic, but different variations, right?
Yeah.
You see, resurrection is done differently depending
Like
on where you
fire
are. Yeah. So there's definitely something to that.
Very true. And, you know, another person important to Bran, I think, is Sam. We got a lot of him in Old Town, which I thought was sweet. Sam's pretty much bottom line is Sam's frustrated because they won't listen to him. And he doesn't know that Dickon and his dad have been killed.
Yeah.
And
fucking Slughorn.
We got a hint on Rhaegar
Mm-hmm.
Targaryen. I need to watch it again because I've only seen it once. But she went on talking about a secret wedding in Dorne and all this shit.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Dorne surprises me. I don't understand why it would be in Dorne. I think the secret wedding would be at Harrenhal or just outside of Harrenhal or something like that. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
That surprised me. I could be wrong, but it could hint at the legitimization of Jon Snow.
Yeah.
Which, you know, I don't understand. Like, why would they want to legitimize Jon Snow? Because I feel like it's not like he's going to rule.
I wonder if they're just setting it up as like
a contender against Daenerys.
No, like I think it's. Part of me thinks it's fan service. Like if you missed it on the baby reveal, then now you're understanding, and now this is a legitimate thing that happened in this world. No more conspiracy theories that it's something else. Yeah. This is what happened, and there's little tidbits that are now peppered throughout, and that's why she read it out loud. Because Sam's not going to reference that again. But if you think about it, 10 minutes after the war that we're going to see in the next season, whoever's still standing, we would know that Jon is a legitimate heir to everything here, right? Mm. And there's literally paperwork to back it up, and there's now people that are going to know that. Yeah. So that's what it's for. I don't know if it will actually come to head, like come out of the woodwork before whatever happens.
Yeah, but that's why I think he's so important. Like, I don't know if he's going to go straight to Winterfell or if he's going to go somewhere else. He stole all of these really important books that I'm sure he's going to go through when he arrives at work. Like, do you think he's going to Winterfell, or where do you think he's going?
I don't know. I was thinking he's just going to go back to the, like, wherever Jon is.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I'm just wondering how he would figure out where to go. Like, Winterfell does seem like the best
It's
bet,
on the
'cause
King's
Jon's king
Road
of the
to
North.
the Wall, so he would be stopping in Winterfell anyways.
Wait, no, he's going to Winterfell because he knows that Bran Stark sent the Raven
That's right.
from Winterfell. So he's bolting there.
Yeah.
And I think that's where he's significant, is because
We might even see him in the last episode.
yeah.
There.
Oh, 100%. 100%. With these travel times, 100%. And I think that's why Sam is so important, is because Bran sees all these visions, and Sam is the one to take what Bran is seeing and look at it on paper and draw the lines and connect the dots and be the interpreter and the proof of all that shit. So that's why I think he's so important. And then I think the three-eyed raven, which is Bran, is going to return back to the crypts of Winterfell, which kind of started in season 1, which I think is awesome.
Yeah.
But that was the episode. What a freaking doozy. And the next
man.
episode is going to be badass.
I just can't get over the fucking band of unmarried men that are heading north. Like, it's so good.
It's awesome. It's a collection of everyone's favorite characters, I feel like.
Oh, yeah. Like,
I'm so excited. You got, like, tons of, like, bastards.
just gonna be shit talking and action in the next episode.
Oh, fuck. And there's so much. Like, what do you think is going to happen next episode up north?
Yeah, like, it's tough to say because it seems like they get surprised, but they're going there. But maybe they get overwhelmed by the quantity of what they find.
And we see the arrowhead.
Yeah, we see the mountain and the arrowhead. It looks like the mountain's dumbfounded by the vision that he saw in the fire with what he's seeing before him. Like, he stops and is like, that's a fucking vision. Right? Like,
Holy
he's like,
shit.
oh, fuck. This shit is real.
But that's what blows me. Like, I wonder why the mountain is so significant. Like, are they journeying into the land of always winter? Like, where they set up shop? Like, it seems like they're traveling south. But, like, why the arrowhead? Because it's, like, so clear to me that the White Walkers wear an arrowhead on their armor.
No, I just think that he saw the future. Like, he saw... I don't necessarily think he saw where he's gonna die. I really hope not. I really hope he doesn't die this episode.
I just wonder if the location has more significance.
Well, it seems like it. Like, it seems like a weird stage ground. Because you have the scene that we've seen since the trailers from the beginning of this clearing with, like, a stage of rock sticking out. And what's weird is the rock is sticking out and everything else is ice around. So it might be that they have a little bit of advantage because the ice isn't there. I don't know. Right? Because he kind of can control the ice and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. This episode could be crazy.
I can't even comprehend. Because you see them, they travel a long way. You see the Night King, like, off of his horse. You see the White Walkers around. You see them fighting White Walkers.
Well, the way they cut
trailer.
The way they cut the trailer, it looks like Jon is legitimately panicked and he's running and he doesn't have a sword out.
Yeah. I can't even comprehend fighting whites or running from whites as well as fighting White Walkers. Like, I don't know how they're going to play that off. I don't know if they're going to run from the whites and then fight the White Walkers or vice versa. Like,
I don't think there'll be much White Walker fighting. I think it will be they'll get overwhelmed by whites, fucking battle it out. We'll seem all is lost. They'll get surrounded to that circle move that they do, fight it out, and then something will change the tide. And to me, that Night King got off his horse to go, like, almost greet them.
yeah.
Like, whether aggressively or diplomatically, I don't know. But what I think is, like, there's gonna be some sort of communication. I don't know. I don't want to say that, and the Night King can actually communicate, like talking. But there might be something, like he could touch his arm, or he can convey a message as to what this is all about, why we're moving.
Yeah, like he
Right?
could mark Jon.
Something, or like there's something there, and there's gonna be an agreement in the next episode, or maybe it will leave on a cliffhanger a bit as to what, but there'll be an agreement here.
And I loved your idea, which is really cool. Like, Thoros is there, and he's been known to resurrect people.
Yeah. So I was thinking, this is so, like, this is tinfoil hat, but legitimately, everyone could possibly die in this episode, with the exception of Jon and the Red Wit Priest, right? Because at the end of it, everyone's dead. You think everyone's gone for good. They could come to some agreements, and he could say, okay, take off, and then he could resurrect everyone that has fallen.
Yeah.
That's a far out there kind of prediction, but like it's that's what's so cool about the people that he's with now, and the stakes here, because that might be a huge factor in the final war.
And we
like
see
you might have wizards like resurrecting on both sides, right?
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't want to not resurrect because the other side would get it.
Yeah. It's insane. And then you see them like on that rock running and they're staying away from the wights. And it's like, yeah, all is lost. They go in the circle and then I swear to God, like Daenerys' dragons have to arrive. I just don't know how she's going to get out of Dragonstone. In the trailer, you see fire and you see Jon by himself. So I don't know why Jon would be by himself. I thought, diplomatic a talk with the Night King would be cool.
Yeah.
Not a talk, but like, some kind of a
Some
message.
sort of like not a standoff where they fight each other, but like a standoff, kind of like at Hardhome.
Yeah.
It was almost like he sent out a lieutenant to kill Jon, dispatch him, finish a job, and then, oh fuck, this guy's important because he just cut down my lieutenant.
Yeah.
And he looked at him, and then he showed him like, I can raise the dead.
Yeah, look at me. Yeah.
Right. So, he could have talked to him there. That's what's holding me back from saying he could talk.
He did kind of communicate a message though.
Yeah,
like
I'm
look
not
what
to
I
be
do.
fucked with.
Yeah, don't fuck with me. But like, there's a lot of characters that could be at play. Like Benjen. Like Benjen can come in.
Yep.
I almost would guarantee Benjen coming because he's over the wall.
He'll be there.
And he seemed like in the last season he has a connection to obviously the Blood Raven, the Three-Eyed Raven, Bran, and he would know to go to Eastwatch.
Plus, he's a badass fighter of these things.
He would be important too, as well as Bran. Like, what's stopping Bran from being the eyes and bringing in a navy, like a napalm strike of crows?
It could do, like,
to
anything's
stop them.
possible.
Like,
there.
literally, it's crazy.
It could be mammoths come in.
And as I said, resurrected mammoths. Like,
everything.
Literally, I think we're gonna be shocked this episode. It's gonna be a huge shit ton of reveals. Like in episode 1 of this season, we saw resurrected giants.
Yeah.
We're seeing more. I think we're seeing resurrected wolves. I think we're seeing, if we see a resurrected direwolf, Summer, Bran's wolf, that would be unbelievable. If we saw a resurrected polar bears, we could see spiders.
Like just the whole army.
Any creature that is beyond the wall resurrected as a part of the army, I think would be unbelievable.
Yeah.
And then what characters do you think are going to even make it out? Like the Hound, I think, is going to make it through because it's been said repeatedly over and over again that he has a huge role to play, and I think that role is larger than dying at Eastwatch.
Yeah. I don't think Beric Dondarrion's making it out. I feel like he knows he's going there to die in a way. Right? Like he really seems like he's following his heart or his religion to this moment.
Yeah.
Right? So I really think he's dying there. His sword might be coming back.
Yeah, the fire, like that's a whole other thing, is his fire, his sword that can just ignite.
Yeah, that's
Would
crazy.
Jon ever pick that up? Is that even significant? Like, who knows?
Lightbringer, right?
Yeah.
We still don't know who has the real Lightbringer or if it exists yet.
Yeah.
Right? Man, it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, you pull a burning sword. I think Jon may have to pull that sword if Beric dies.
Yeah,
that would be cool.
It's wrapped in so much
I think
symbolism.
Yeah, I think Thoros would die because you want to kill the guy who could potentially resurrect people. It kind of removes the safety net.
Yeah, I still feel like there's going to be some sort of resurrection. I really feel like a lot of people are going to die, and he's going to allow at least a handful of people to. I really hope Buddy doesn't die.
Tormund can't die. I'm nervous about Tormund. I'm confident that Gendry won't die. Because they can't pull like a Rickon and like bring him back for an episode.
No, especially
he's
the
all
relationship
charming.
they just built.
He's all charming, and I think he's gonna make it through.
Yeah.
And Tormund, I'm very unsure about. Jorah has to make it through because he's not gonna make it all the way to Dragonstone.
No.
Get back and go to Eastwatch and then die. That's not gonna happen.
He's gonna die for Dany, not for Jon.
Yeah, so that's gonna happen.
If at all.
Yeah, guarantee on my list is the Brotherhood. Thoros. Beric
for sure.
Hound
I want to say 100% Beric's dead.
Hound is no way for me.
No, I swear we have that scene of him like pulling out a sword in like a summer area later.
Oh, in the trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah. True.
Everyone's like, "Who is this?" It's like, "Come on, it's fucking the Hound."
Yeah, true. And that's another question. Like, how do you show on a screen capturing a wight? How the hell do you do that? I don't even understand. Like, how do you capture one wight from a horde? You get, like, Daenerys on a dragon, but then how do you hand it off? Like, I just don't understand creatively how you would convey that.
That's tough. Could it be, like I said, it could be an agreement. They could maybe kill someone from the party and he could turn him into it.
Oh, that would be even better. What if, the wight is a character that we know? Like,
you never know.
They get attacked. Oh, that would be nice. Like, bring in, like, Thoros.
Like a respectful, you can bring your dead back.
Thoros or somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And you're bringing a character that we know as a wight. I think that would be a good emotional pull.
Yeah.
But I think that's all I have to say. Is there anything else you have to add on that?
No, we could talk hours about this last episode and what's to come, because it's getting fucking cranked to 11 on the next episode for sure.
Oh my god, I'm so pumped. I can't wait. It's un-fucking believable. I think it's going to be one of the best episodes. And I think action-wise, Hardhome was, like, amazing. I think this is going to annihilate Hardhome.
Yeah, because it's like this like Knights of the Round Table mission that they're on with every good fighter, it seems like.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's really crazy. I don't think Tormund's going to die because he has to have his moment with the tall woman. Or the big woman.
Really?
Yeah, they have to go into that a little bit more.
I think this season they kind of made it clear, like, Jon can be the connection between the wildlings and the people. And it makes me nervous that they kind of established that, because then what's the use of Tormund? Like, he represents the wildlings, but Jon can still take them in. So I hope Tormund doesn't die.
I hope not either.
But that's all I have to say. Until next time, we'll see you guys later.
Yeah, see ya.
Bye.